that thing smells bad. Ooh, doggy. Yeah. He's going to get a little trip to the woods. I don't need him around here. He gets into my garden, digs everything up. I think that's number probably 200. Yeah, I've taken out over 200 here. And then the raccoons, we're well over, I quit counting, well over 300. Okay, so that swamp is a producer of critters and bees. Yes, it is. And speaking of bees, today's October 11, 2020. And we should have some queens hatching out. Matter of fact, I know we have some queens hatching out. Yesterday evening, before I shut the barn down and come to the house, one queen had already emerged. So we got a queen, and then I came out earlier this morning, I don't know, 6-ish, and there was some more queens hatching. So I think there's 6 more still in the cell. So we'll go check them out. Okay, guys, let's see what we got in our box here. We got 6 queens that have hatched out so far. And you'll see I put a drop. Well, that queen there sucked it all up. That one's got a little left here. Yeah. She's coming up to get a drink. And I got a jar of honey here. Actually, this is from Martin. This is nap honey, and it's crystallizing, which is nice. And what I did, stirred it up with a these little skewers you get at the store, bamboo skewers. They got a really sharp point on them. This is a nice little tool because you can dip it in your honey and come right up here and just tap it on the cage. It's like so, right down through here. And they'll come up and feed like right away. The other great tool to have is a little insulin needle, like so. And you can just take and put a little drop of water right here on it, right on the screen, like that. Put a drop of water on there for them. That works good. And something else I noticed, when you get these insulin, if you find everybody and his brother is on you know, diabetic medication, injecting this insulin and stuff. Other than me, I'm not going there. But they have this little hub over here. Well, guess what? This little hub fits perfectly inside of a California mini cage as a plug. Yes. Had one queen dead as a donut in the bottom of one of these cages this morning when I came in. Yeah, she was dead. Don't know. It's funny, they would go through all that, go through this whole cycle and then fall out, come out, and drop down here and drop dead. Yes. So we got 6 queens going on here. This queen here is up in that plug for some reason. There, she's backing out. And she likes to put her head up in that plug, huh? I'll be darned. Anyway, yeah, this works out pretty good. I got my little monofilament in here. Whoops, here's a cell that fell out. Put that back in. So hopefully we'll get some more here. These are going in. These are all going in a nuc today. A 2-frame nuc. Every one of these queens. We got 6 of them here, so I'll set them up. What I'm going to do is harvest all my resource from my yard here. I'm going to set up 2 framers I'm going to staple screen across the front and have a little flip-up door, but the door will be down. I've got a 2 3/4 bore in the bottom of them 2 framers with a screen on it. And I'm going on these pallet stands out here with the rebar like I showed you, but remember to put a block of wood under the end, because if that sits flat on that wood, they're not getting any air through that thing. So I got to put a block of wood under it. I'll go around Harvest Resources. I'm going to use 1 string frame and 1 harvested frame. It's going to be solid brood, sealed brood with bees. That's going to go in. And then I'm going to get my cages. This is how we're going to introduce our queens in these cages. These will be in lockdown for 4 days inside of these cages. If they haven't accepted her by then, that's not going to happen, you know. But they'll accept them. Because the neat part about putting them under, pinning them down under brood, have maybe a little source of food over here, say, on your frame. Pick a spot, and once you got your spot picked, you just kind of embed this slightly. Take your queen, your harvested queen. Once you set up your nucs and you load them up and get them positioned out where you want them, get them all set up, then you go over. I'm going to take 1 frame at a time. Shake the bees off in that box, off of that frame. I'm going to bring it into the room here. I'm going to pull my queen out. They'll be in the incubator. I'll pull 1 queen at a time. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this back in the incubator. Keep these girls warm. So after these girls come off, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 12 cells there we can play with. Hopefully these other 6 hatch today. So back to the setup, I will put those nucs out here, get them all ready to go, all 6 of these, whoever hatches. By the time I get back from my hike and all that, I've got rains coming in here, so I got to work between the raindrops. But anyway, I will bring 1 frame, I'll shake the bees off, bring them in here, and set this frame down, locate the spot I want. I want some hatching brood. Because in the end of 4 days, you're going to have hatching brood coming into this cage. Well, the bees are going to be feeding her from the outside. These merging young bees in here will be grooming her and stuff also. So they'll be getting accepted. And I'll come back in 4 days. I'll pull this cover off and let her go, and I won't come back for 3 weeks on that nuc. I'll come back in about 3 weeks and see if she's laying. Okay. What I did with these in here, you can take, instead of this plug here, you can take a JZBZ cup, your cell cups. You can tear off a little piece of paper towel. Because as you see here, this is sloppy in here. That's no good. That's no good. So get these once the queen hatches. And I had 2 hung up in there. And what they'll do a lot of times, the dummies, they'll go back up in there and they get hung up and they can't, and they're going to die in there. Okay. So I take them out. Let me show you this first. I'm getting off track here. Got your queen down in here, your new virgin, and you want to plug her in there. Put a piece of paper towel there. That's just the right tension with that piece of paper towel to keep her trapped in there. Then you can do your feeding. A little bit of honey action. Just a little drop is all you need. A little drop of water, a little drop of honey. That's all you need on that. And the other problem, to get them queens, them hard-headed queens that go back up in the cell here, what you'll find is when you pull it out, see, there's the trap door right there, part of it, where she chewed out. Well, a lot of times they'll just turn around, go back in there, and they're stuck in there, and they can't get out. Take your you got it by the base. It's going to be in the cell here like this. So you grab the bottom so you don't crush it. And what you want to do is her butt's going to be sticking out here, right? Take the pointed end. This is a nice little tool. This is kind of leathery. This is pretty tough little skin on this thing, right? Take your tool like this and get right in here on the edge of her butt and push outward like that. And come around here and put your needle in there, point it in, and push out slowly. Don't pinch her legs, don't hurt her. And you just come on and you poke it out and just give her a little room. Oh, I hear it raining, guys. So the weatherman didn't lie to me. He said it's going to be raining between 7 and 8. Well, it's between 7 and 8 now. So that's what you do. You just poke that and push that out, and she'll back right on out. And then you can capture her, put her in your cage, and like I said, feed her and put her back to bed in there till you're ready to go. You can keep these queens in there. I wouldn't myself. I'm hearing all kind of stuff. You can keep them in there for a week, and no. Get these things out of there ASAP and get them in a nucleus. The sooner the better. So that works, and we will make up some colonies. I might bring you along for that deal. So I just thought I'd show you the deal. So our system's working. Our system's working, so we can start cranking out some queens. We're going to get serious with queen making in 2021. All right. All right, guys. I'll talk to you. If I don't see you again, be happy and get after them. Get to making some queens as soon as you can. You're going to like it. Build yourself an incubator. Keep an eye on Craigslist for burned out wine coolers, because these things make excellent coolers. If you're going to go commercial operation, they make these things a lot taller, 2 or 3 times taller than this. You could put a ton of cells in it. But for my small operation, I can put 4 bars like this. I can put 4 bars just like this with 15, 16 cells on it. I can put 4 of those in there. That is God's plenty for what my little operation's doing here. And you know, if you've got a scenario like I got, like you probably will in Arizona and wherever, you can set up a small room like this. You can set up a small room like this, and you know, you've got an environmentally controlled little box here that you can work with the heat. If you have a serious heat issue, you in the far north, you may have to heat your room, but again, you can make a small room like this and heat it and control the room temperature with one of these little units here. Inkbird is the name of this one. This thing's been working fantastic. And so think about that. If I was 40 years younger, my brain's been working, see. If I was 40 years younger, what I would do is get a piece of property that's zoned ag, where I can have all the colonies I want. And if you want to buy sugar and do this thing that I'm doing, you really don't even need to be worrying about crops. You can do this with bought sugar, table sugar, and you can do it with Ultra B pollen substitute. You can raise these bees like this. Make nucs, sell nucs. Pollination people need nucs. I mean, if you get the price right, they'll buy up everything you got. Plus, the hobbyists are getting into this a lot. So that's my thing. I want to try to promote more hobbyists and stuff. But my brain's thought was, build a lean-to, a pole barn type scenario that's say 40-50 feet long and say 20 feet wide, and have a little grafting shack just like this, control room on the end of it. Have this thing all have a peaked roof, we're sloping both ways, long, and then put the stands down each side, put this little room at the end of the pole barn. You don't have to go crazy with the height of it. Just get to where you're out of the weather, so I don't have to worry about weather like I'm dealing with right now. See, I can go out into that pole barn, all of my hives, and along the back end too. Of course, you're probably going to want a hole in the end so you can drive your mini tractor and whatever to bring bees in, bring bees out, whatever. Because you're going to be making up, and have those as cell builders plus brood factories. And you can put a whole line of bees down each side. You can attach beams along those pole barn, have enough overhang so you don't have to worry about rain and stuff. And you can work those bees in there and under that pole barn, have the entrances looking out on all the way around. You could work those bees in there anytime you want to, day or night for that matter, to make queens. And then you can assemble your nucs in there, load them on a truck, have your truck say at the end, assemble them from those brood factories, have a spot in there for your frames, extra surplus nucs and all that stuff, to where you're in there, you can just grab your stuff and go. And like I said, if I was 40 years younger, that's what I would do. So it's something to think about, guys. Bees are always going to be in demand. Always. And beekeepers are going to be in demand. So be thinking about that. If you want to make a living at beekeeping, you can do it. If you hate your job, that's probably not hard to do, hate your job. But once you get into this, you will love your job. And it's so satisfying making these queens and coming back in 3 weeks and watch what they do. They're just blowing the hive out with eggs, making more bees for you. It's a very satisfying thing. So I thought I'd give you an update on this. We'll keep you posted on the progress of all these nucs, all these new mated queens and all that. So stand by for that, and I will catch you all in the next one. Be happy. See ya.